This meeting is being recorded.
We're ready to roll? Okay, 7 o'clock. I would open the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals, the Village of Bartlett, Counties of Cook, DuPage, and Kane. Please call the roll.
George Koziel.
Here.
Joe Bano.
Here.
Bob Vaccaro.
Here.
Guy Papa.
You want a pen?
Michelle Suarez.
Here.
Charlie DeVoe.
Here.
Mike Weirden.
Here. So I understand part of this is virtual, right? Correct. Okay. You have before you the minutes from the October 1st meeting. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Robert and seconded by George. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Joe Bano.
Yes.
Bob Vaccaro.
Yes.
Michelle Suarez.
Yes.
Charlie DeVoe.
Yes.
George Koziel.
Yes.
Mike Weirden.
Yes. First item on the agenda, case number 20-02, Rana Cold Storage. I guess we're going to, do we open the public hearing right now? Yes. We're just going to open the public hearing so that we can entertain a motion to continue this to next month. Do I have a motion to continue this?
A motion to continue.
Second.
Moved by Charlie, seconded by Joe. Please call the roll.
Bob Vaccaro.
Yes.
Michelle Suarez.
Yes.
Charlie DeVoe.
Yes.
George Koziel.
Yes.
Joe Bano.
Yes.
Mike Weirden.
Yes.
And please note that it's a continuance based upon the lack of proper notice.
Okay, the continuance is based on the lack of proper notice. That's going to be a similar case here with item number 5, case 20-17, Brewster Creek Business Park, Lot 2A. I shall open the public hearing. We need another motion to continue for next month due to a lack of public notification.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Michelle, seconded by George. Please call the roll.
Michelle Suarez.
Yes.
Charlie DeVoe.
Yes.
George Koziel.
Yes.
Joe Bano.
Yes.
Bob Vaccaro.
Yes.
Mike Weirden.
Yes. Okay. The other item on the agenda, case number 20-08, Bucky's on Stearns. Are the petitioners present? Please come up to the microphone. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm the evidence you're about to give is only the whole truth? And do we have the evidence of the mailings, the sign, and the notices? Yes. Mark those exhibits A, B, and C. For the record, please state your name and address, the business address.
May I take my mask?
Sure, yes, please. We need to hear you.
Good evening. My name is Richard McMahon. I live at 5412 Regents Park in Rockville, Illinois. I represent Bucky's and Buchanan.
That might not be on.
Good evening. My name is Richard McMahon. I represent Bucks and Bucky's and Buchanan Energy, and my residence is at
Instead of your residence, you can give the business address if you want to.
2500 Brickvale Road, Elk Grove Village, Illinois.
Okay, go ahead and present your case.
Thank you. This is for me like deja vu. 2 years ago, I was here for the original project on across the street from the McDonald's, the empty lots there.
Right.
We weren't able to do that because of the traffic signal, so we came with a Plan B. We're located on the southwest corner of Stearns and 59 on a lot that is outside of the Home Depot subdivision. So the mobile or the Bucky station is outside of the Home Depot subdivision. We have a contract to purchase Lot 4 of the Home Depot subdivision, which is currently occupied by the Sonic restaurant. And One of the reasons we're here for a variance for landscaping and the setbacks, or the prime reason, is because Lot 4 in the Home Depot subdivision has a use restriction that prohibits the use of underground tanks. So our design is put together in such a way so that the tanks, the dispensers, all the piping, and anything that handles petroleum is on the original Bucky's lot and not on the lot that's currently occupied by the Sonic on Lot 4. That's what's unique about this site, and it's why we were not able to push the property or our C-store and everything back further to give you the front yards and the other interior landscaping that is required in the ordinance, and why we're not able to put the canopy back further. So if I would go, we have a different order here. Christie, can I have you go to your slide 14? Does that work for you? I don't have the numbers on here. Okay, keep going. It's the second to last, I think. Keep going. There we go. One more or one less? There we go. This is the gas station lot with 33,000 square feet before IDOT's taking. And if you go to the next slide, you can see what IDOT took from it. So that's a particular point of the hardship on this. And then if you go to the site plan, which was slide number 2, you'll see that if you look at that carefully, it's a little hard to see it, the lot line between the Home Depot Lot 4 and our gas station lot runs north and south right in front of the C-store. That's what's driving all this, is we're keeping the C-store on Lot 4 and anything to do with petroleum dispensing on the mobile lot. The back side of if we go now to the green landscape, there we go. This is what it'll look like as an aerial when it's done. There is a total of 73,000 square feet when you combine both the mobile lot and the Sonic lot together. As you look at this right now, 23,104 square feet of that is green space. So that we're actually dedicating almost 32% of the total square footage of these lots to green space. But it's all in the back. If we can go to the next one, I guess. Yep. You all know this one. It's a little bit dated, the picture, but this is what it exists and what it looked like a couple months ago during the construction. And if what we're proposing would be the next slide. It'll look substantially the same. The canopy will be in approximately the same position. And the C-store is actually back on the other lot, on the Sonic lot. And if we go to the next slide, and this would be looking at the store from behind as you're going east on Stearns, past the car wash and coming up into the intersection with 59. You'll recall that there's a driveway into the Home Depot subdivision and that goes around, and the Sonic would be off where our C-store is right now. And I think we have some elevations just for reference. This is what the store is. We could not build our large size store that we were asking for 2 years ago. It just won't fit. So we're using our smaller prototype, which is still not small by industry standards. It's 4,700 square feet. It'll be a very nice C-store. It has doors on the front and the back. What we've done there is we have some additional parking on the back side. And eventually someday when we get around to having standard EV charging stations and vehicles that can charge quickly, we think that we'll probably put some EV charging stations on the backside. If we have to come to you for that point, we certainly will. But our store is, because of its size, has a capability of being modified later, say 3 years from now when we get to EV charging stations, where people can do something else in the C-store and sit for 20 minutes while their car charges. In Europe, they have charging stations that can charge a car in 20 minutes that can get you more than 15 miles. And we're gradually moving up to that. And we also, right now, are in kind of the throes of like Betamax versus VHS, where you have different components. And that all needs to be standardized. But that's one of the things we're thinking about for the future when we start moving away from petroleum-based automobiles and transportation. The canopy elevations are clad with the same material that the building is done with. And I don't think I have anything more, Christine. I can leave myself open for questions.
Well, I think it's a very nice-looking building. Certainly an improvement from what's there now. And as you indicated, some unique circumstances that you're working around. So I think you've done, I think it's a good plan.
No car wash at this one?
No, sir.
Okay.
We could not build a car wash on Lot 4 because it's prohibited, because there's already a car wash in the Home Depot shopping center. And there's a restrictive covenant that protects them from
That's
having
right.
competition.
Yes. Very good.
When I looked at this plan, I was fascinated by the idea of parking availability on both sides. Have you ever done that before?
We have done that once in Omaha, and we are planning to do it again in Lisle.
And your comment about possible charging stations in the future, I think your forward-looking is kind of fascinating and a good thing to have. It would be quite a feather in your cap to be able to say that you're a charging station for whoever.
We look forward to that, and we think it would be a plus for Bartlett to also be known as that, as
Right.
we'll start moving towards EV vehicles. We want to be available for the future, and it will create a major shakeout in our industry, because if you have to sit for 20 minutes while your car is being charged, that eliminates about 90 existing petroleum stations right now from use, because what are those folks going to do in a small store? So having the larger one, we can reconfigure the inside of it with tables, sort of like a library or a coffee shop or whatever, and people can sit there for 20 minutes and conduct business while they're getting charged.
Because
It'd
of
be
the
a very interesting win-win for both the consumer and Bucky's.
We believe so. The company has an interesting history. Steve Buchanan, the man who started as a teenager in 1982 when he was a helper at a gas station on the main drag in Omaha, Nebraska, and the gentleman who owned it announced he was retiring, and Steve decided that he was going to buy it. And from those humble beginnings, 60% of all the motor fuel in the Omaha Council Bluffs MSA goes through his stores. And then in 2010, in December, he was able to buy the 81 mobile branded stores here that were sold by ExxonMobil as a lump sum. So we get there by being innovative entrepreneurs, and that's by looking ahead and not by looking back.
So this is very innovative, as he was saying, and with the restrictions with the gas tanks on the other lot, this essentially makes the whole concept smaller than a lot of your stations, right?
The store that we came in with 2 years ago was 7,000 square feet. And there's there's one of those in Wheaton right now, and we're preparing to build one in Winfield. We had a lot more property, and we had at Norwood, across the street from
Right.
Norwood, we had 2.5 acres. We don't have enough room on this property to fit that store any which way. If we turned it 90 degrees, it still probably wouldn't be deep enough, and then we would have had the canopy and the fuel tanks on Lot 4. So we were constrained by that. So we have two types in the Chicago area. There's the one we show here, and then the larger one.
So go back on the pictures, we saw the signage along Stearns Road. Now, what about along 59?
59, it has a monument sign also we're proposing.
Okay,
That was an error that we've since corrected by our 3D rendering people by having the white there.
so will there be some type of landscaping around that sign?
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to the color,
That
there
was,
you can kind of see it there.
okay. Okay.
How large is the store that's at, what is it, Army Trail and County Farm?
That's 7,000 square feet.
I stopped in there today to
Well,
get a
thank
concept as to what was going on.
That's what we were trying to build in Norwood. But it would have been a different color in your community.
The landscape plan only shows one tree along Route 59. Is there a reason, or no space, or what?
Yes, there's several reasons. It's, number one, it's a hardship that was put upon us by IDOT's taking and then the constraints of the lot lines. And the driveway areas between the curbs and the dispensers are all what we consider standard for vehicles and trucks with trailers, you know, the lawn people to be able to move around in. So we originally had a proposal into the staff for no trees on there. And we then worked with staff and put one in there. We would have conflicts with visibility and utilities if we were to put other ones that would be in the right-of-way even. So that's what we've done, but we've tried to make up for in some other areas.
Can you go back to the picture where the entrance is off Stearns, or the sign? Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure I've got my right bearings on there. So from here, if you were to go into that driveway, that's the home entrance into the Home Depot lot?
Correct.
Okay.
We're not changing any of the driveways, internal driveways or external driveway, well, one external, but any of the Home Depot ones that go between Sonic and ourselves, or the shopping center and this new strip center, those are all staying untouched.
Yeah, but you can see there, you really wouldn't have any room. You start trying to get more trees along that side there, you're right up against that curb.
Wasn't there an issue at the committee of the whole meeting about preserving one tree along there or something?
There was no tree, and they asked for one tree, and that's what we put in.
So that's what's there, okay.
There's one existing tree, it's located, I want to say approximately here. I believe we asked that.
That be kept also, and we are keeping it. This 3D drawing is a little bit dated. It's before I met with the committee of the whole.
Okay. Okay, okay.
So, and then the evergreen shrubs that you saw along the existing access drive, we're going to be removing those and replacing it with ornamental grasses.
Is that what's in the corner there on our upper right?
Well, and that's not terribly accurate there. There are currently two types of shrubs in that landscape area there underneath the trees. There are deciduous shrubs, and then there are those evergreens. We're planning on keeping all the deciduous shrubs that are around it, and they're kind of in that position around the trees. And removing the evergreen ones and replacing them with, I think it's called feathergrass, that the staff had talked to us about. The idea being that the evergreens have gotten overgrown since they've been put in. And if we were to go and cut them back down, then they're looking stumpy. So, if you've ever remember or can think of a home in a residential subdivision that's been there for 20 years and the evergreens have grown up. And then someone moves in and they cut them down and they replace them with new shrubs. It gives the house a newer look.
Sure. Sure.
And I've carefully looked at those evergreens and photographed them and whatnot, and I'm a bit of a gardener myself, and I just felt that they needed to go because they weren't going to look very good. And they've not been trimmed or anything since they've been put in. And we'd like to have something new.
On that drawing, it looked like some small black markings. Is that grass, like at the corner at Stearns and 59, or? Go back to the other drawing, landscape. But the black markings to the right, far right corner. The far right corner. Yeah, right along what is that?
Staff
Grasses?
asked us to put ornamental grasses in, and we
Okay.
did that.
Because that's always a problem with road widenings. It usually takes out the landscape and it never gets put back in.
It's a shame. I've gone through this intersection since there was a Clark on the corner.
I remember mentioning it when it came before us, and even with Walgreens across the street, I said, someday we're going to get a brain and we're going to widen that intersection. And it's going to take out landscaping on all four corners.
You have a concept as how long the project will take to complete?
We would begin in the spring, so probably April, and then we can have it done in 4 months.
Oh, that's.
But we might be able to get it done sooner, because I'm advocating to the people in Omaha that they consider raising the Sonic and keeping the gas station running because of the difference in the lot lines there. And that way they can get a head start on building the building while we're still working the gas station, and then take the gas station and rip the tanks out and all the rest of that. I don't know. I don't do that end of the business. We certainly want to get it done as quickly as possible because it's a shut-off of cash flow, and we're an entrepreneurial business, so we pay attention to that.
Sure.
And that intersection has been a pain for several years, so the less disruption, the better.
Well, we certainly don't want to buy the Sonic and then just have it sit there. I mean, that's not how we grew, by sinking money into buildings and not doing anything and not turning them into going concerns again.
Very good. Any other questions?
So that's a sidewalk all the way around the site.
Yes, sir.
I like the high amount of green space and open space. Any further questions? At this point, we'll open it up to the wild audience. Just teeming and champing at the bit. Any further discussion or motions?
Make a motion, we approve?
Okay, it's been moved by Charlie for approval.
Second.
And seconded by Joe. At this point, we shall close the public hearing portion. Any further discussions? Please call the roll.
Michelle Suarez,
Yes.
Charlie DeVoe,
Yes.
George Koziel,
Yes.
Joe Bano,
Yes.
Bob Vaccaro,
Yes.
Mike Weirden.
Yes. Okay, we shall pass on a positive recommendation to the village board. And I guess you have to go to the plan commission, right, also? Yes. That's next week. Okay, good luck at the plan commission.
Thank you very much, members of the board.
Okay, I guess old business, new business. New business is we have a meeting next month.
Yes. We're having the holiday party this year. I thought we'd get to see you guys in December.
There we go. I had talked to Danny about that a while ago, and he said, we haven't even discussed it. I said, I can't even see us having it now with everything going on. He said, you're probably right. So,
But we do have new business, and I'd like to introduce Devin Campershore. He's our new associate planner, and he's already been very busy in our department, and we're very happy to have him.
good.
Welcome.
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 Behind our
And
mask.
when did you come on board?
This will be my fourth meeting.
Okay. Oh,
And what, I was going to tell them, we just reviewed some building plans for the Wheaton Eye Clinic that might be coming to Bartlett in one of the bank buildings in the Home Depot subdivision.
Really? Good.
Any other plans? Tell them.
And Culver's is coming along okay, right?
Culver's, yes, they plan to be open to the public like the first week in January.
Okay. Very good. Anything else? Any motions to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by George,
Second?
second by Charlie. All in favor?
Aye.
One opposed? Abstain? Okay.